forever. Death herself has become my life. Holy Death is the one and only constant. Her bony hands always offer me a place of refuge, where, beneath her scythe, I may humbly swim in her sumptuous sacrality and be whole with all. I invite you to join me, dear listener, as I take you on a journey, not only peppered with a few personal anecdotes, but, above all, replete with accurate information I have spent years collecting to teach you the ways of Santa Muerte. This voyage will open the door to death and her powers, if you are ready, willing, and able to step into her portal, to let go of fear, and to embrace the ultimate truth. She can heal, help, hex, and much more. If, with humility, you respect her great potency and absolute mystery, then perhaps you, like me, will find the place of peace, power, and above all, the sacred sphere you have long been looking for. I was living in Mexico when one night, on a full moon, I had a near-death experience. I literally stared death in the face when my car crashed off a ridge. I survived, miraculously, with 0 injuries. As I walked away from the wreck, I realized that my accident had taken place right by a shrine to Santa Muerte. I knew it was a sign. I walked up the ridge into the chapel and, for the second time that night, stared death in the face. Santa Muerte smiled at me. She had just saved my life. I had shivers running down my spine. In a moment of déjà vu, I knew that I had been there before and that I was exactly where I was supposed to be. As I stood in the chapel, a witch of Santa Muerte emerged suddenly from the shadows. Smiling, with mystery twinkling in her dark eyes, I felt death come to me again, to talk to me. The bruja, witch, told me she had been sent by Santa Muerte. She was expecting me. Holy Death told her I would be there that night. Santa Muerte came to her in a dream and said she would send an owl as a sign I had arrived. That very night, an owl had perched itself outside her dwelling, and she knew it was time. We spoke at length that night about the power of death. Everything began to change in my life from that moment on. She introduced me into the community of those who work with death. I met devotees, brujos, healers, as well as devotional leaders, not only in Veracruz, where my crash occurred, but across the country. As the days advanced, Santa Muerte nurtured me, keeping me safe even in the most dangerous areas of Mexico, where my deathly research led me. She delivered miracles and magic moments that proved so remarkable that worship of death suffused my soul without even my realizing it. I began to dream of death and to make profound connections in the Santa Muerte community across Mexico, to holy healers and magic workers, and to devotees. The importance of their knowledge became clear to me. As we engaged in rituals, rosaries, and conversations, and enjoyed meals together, they told me that they wished this knowledge to be recorded and transmitted for future generations, and for people outside of Mexico to know the true ways of La Santa Muerte and the path of death. One night, again on a full moon, 9 months later, I had a thantophanic dream of death herself. Santa Muerte appeared to me in a glimmering gown of purest purple, with a moonshine silver sash around her waist, and whispered to me in the way that only death can, a sound so unique I will never forget the chills it sent down my spine. I was tasked by her to honor her name by writing this book dedicated to her, not so much about my journey, but rather to teach others about her miraculous powers and magical wonders. It is my calling to share these lessons with those seeking, like me, to dive deep into the mysteries of life and death. I have seen so much misinformation.